it's this catch-22 because you're right. They're providing a resource that is really needed because a lot of stylists don't have that access. And in terms of technique, where they may understand the makeup of hair and scalp and all of that, and cosmetology and trichology, but they don't understand this technique on this particular hair type and texture. And so that's where there is that great kind of connection. I think that now, I will say this personally, I just don't like when I've been witness to bloggers or YouTubers who have denounced professionals. I think that it's one thing to say, yes, because a lot of these products, I mean, there are a lot of companies, because a lot of the companies that got on the bandwagon in that natural hair revolution were consumer driven, not professional. So that they weren't even trying to provide these products to hair care professionals and licensed stylists. For me, it's about maintaining mutual respect, and I definitely always respect amateurs who are doing hair, be it bloggers or be it YouTubers, and I just want the respect back because even if I don't know a particular technique, I know my craft and I know hair.
The place where I struggle is around journalistic integrity, right? And I grew up in more of the corporate structure, so Procter & Gamble doling out millions of dollars to media companies. But there was a clear line between what is media and what is like an endorsement. And I feel like bloggers have often straddled the fence. So it's, I want to say what I want to say, but I want you to pay me.
Right.
And that doesn't exist in media. Like, you don't pay Cosmopolitan to say something about your brand. You pay Cosmo to run your ad, and you can say whatever you want about it. Or they may give a review, but that review is not paid
for, exactly.
So in this emergence of blogging, you have journalistic integrity going out the window because people want to be paid and give their own opinion, and that doesn't exist. That's new. So that's where I struggle a little bit around, like, wait a second, if I give you a check, then you should read my script.
Right.
But I don't give you a check and you get to read a script and then the next week you're talking about another brand.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I don't like.
That's a little bit of what I struggle with. And I'd love for there to be some kind of parameters or some kind of understanding around this notion of, at the end of the day, I believe that the blogging, the money is going to fall on its face because of the lack of the journalistic integrity. And there's going to be a certain point where brands are like, even with your big numbers, you don't have any integrity. You can't drive influence or purchase intent because you've said the same thing across the board for 18 different brands.
Exactly.
So for the sake of the blogging community and the good that it does, I think there has to be some kind of reconciliation with, like, what is journalistic integrity? When do I take a check? When do I say this is an advertorial? Right? And when am I just giving my point of view on this, and I'm going to make money on the views of this on this video? Right?
My thing is, how are they pitching to these bigger brands that their numbers can be transcribed as buying dollars? Where does that?
Sometimes those companies are finding them, because I've actually worked for some of these major companies in marketing. And what happens is that they're looking for these people and they actually find them, approach them. So it's because of their numbers and because of their activity. So it's not, so that there's not even necessarily a pitch. That what happens is when some of these people who are very popular, they get sought after by those brands. And then now it's become really creative. I mean, I was just recently engaged with a company that's actually brought in bloggers to actually be models. So that, because again, it's like, oh, we'll do it this way. If we actually use the blogger as a model and actually put the product in their hair, then now they're gonna blog
They
their
have to.
experience.
Right.
Yeah.
They're gonna blog that they're there. So it becomes this natural tie-in when you just use them as a model.
Exactly.
It's a numbers game.
based.
And then they're like, okay, well, who else is out there? Who else do we have? Oh, we don't know, so we're gonna use the same person again.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they know that they're gonna push that product without giving up and coming bloggers even a chance, because they're gonna say, oh, you have 1,000 subscribers.
Right.
Like, no, we don't wanna work with you because your numbers are not in the 10,000s.
Right.
But that 1,000, that you never know what reach that person might have with the 1,000 that they do have.
And it doesn't
Absolutely.
even matter as far as reach. It all goes back and ties back into the spending power of those 1,000 people versus the 10,000 people for a brand.
Yeah. The bloggers with the smaller following, because they've represented fewer brands or talked about fewer brands, have more impact per follower, right? So you're better off finding 10 people with 10,000 followers than one with 100,000. And I
Because
think
those people will be more engaged.
more engaged, they're more excited, maybe not as much as compromised per se, fresh faces. So I do see, and there's a ton of really, really good bloggers and hair influencers
Absolutely.
that have a smaller following. But I think that a lot of brands, like our smaller brands, are gonna have to find those bloggers. It's a little bit frustrating for a smaller minority-owned business to see other brands that may or may not be minority-owned see this opportunity
Yes.
and can come in with $20,000, $50,000. It's pocket change, right? And literally line up 50 bloggers and pay them 1,000 each, or 10 bloggers and pay them 10,000 each, and create a barrier for the smaller minority-owned businesses
Absolutely.
to be even able to communicate to the community.
No one can make you feel ashamed about your hair without your authority. You know, I don't care what anybody says about my hair or what they say in my comments.
Of the products of a different race, they'll cut off their supply chain so that they can't get the products that they want into their